Hey folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another direct-to-YouTube special. This one is brought to you by Lucas B, who has been supporting the channel once a month for quite some time. So Lucas, thank you very much for your support. Now, Lucas normally brews up his own decks and sends them to me, and we see how they fare. And this month, Lucas had brewed up a Dreadhorde Arcanist deck. Okay, so that was a no-go. We couldn't play that one. So instead, I sent him a spicy deck list that I found from a recent tournament, and Eureka Junk top aided. Okay, we need to break this down. There's a lot going on here. So we are an Arena Rector, Academy Rector, Eureka Veteran Explorer deck. So we can ramp into big dumb cards. We can Arena Rector into big dumb planeswalkers. We can Academy Rector into big dumb enchantments. And we can Eureka for all the crap in our hand. Okay, this is neat. We have not one, not two, whoop, go away, Nicol Bolas, but three different Nicol Bolases. Bolasi? All right, look, man, I don't know how to pluralize Nicol Bolas. Like, there can only be one, but, you know, there's three. Plus, honorary, like, definitely doesn't kind of look like Nicol Bolas. Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. So, we have some very big enchantments and very big planeswalkers that we are going to try to cheat into play. And what I think is really cool about this deck list is that we've also jammed Living Wish in there. Now, normally I'm not a fan of Living Wish. I feel like the tempo loss is not particularly worth it. But in this deck, you're allowed to put one of your Academy Rectors and Arena Rectors into the sideboard, right? And then you get to wish for them. Well, if you are wishing for something that allows you to cheat like a 7 or 8 mana card into play, that seems pretty insane and is like a reasonable use of a turn off. Whether or not it'll be okay to spend a turn Living Wishing, a turn playing the Rector, and then maybe the following turn you actually get to sacrifice it or kill it, like we'll see in practice. But I'm excited to see where this goes. The Living Wish sideboard allows you to do a couple of different things here. One of your Phyrexian towers is in the sideboard because this is going to be your most consistent way to sacrifice your Veteran Explorers and Rectors, in addition to just like the Cabal Therapy or blowing your stuff up with Deed. But it also lets you play a couple of silver bullets. So you can get a fairy for, a graveyard matchup like Reanimator or something like that. You can grab an Ancient Tomb if you need to go a little faster, or a Cavern of Souls. Putting that on Human or Cleric gets both of these, so that's pretty legit. And then most of the rest of the sideboard is just generic cards like Surgicals, Assassin's Trophies, and Abrupt Decays to go and help us deal with the fair stuff that might get in our way. I'm not sure exactly what our opponent is going to put into play that will, like, deal with this stuff, but sometimes we're going to need to answer things like Pithing Needles or aggressive threats from the other side of the table, so we'll see how it goes. Folks, if you've been enjoying my legacy content and you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel, and liking this video does more than you think in helping my analytics look good and getting more people to watch my content. Thank you everyone who has been doing that recently. It is really helping on my end, and I appreciate it a lot, and it's really keeping me fired up about Legacy right now. Speaking of, the new previews from the Time Spiral Remaster, those arts are hot, and I love them. We'll maybe chat about that a bit in between rounds. All right, let's battle. So, as of right now, I have a turn 5 big enchantment. I don't know that I'm supposed to keep this hand. Like, this is fine, but it's maybe a touch slow. I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan this one. This one doesn't have a way to sack. But in a vacuum, I like this hand a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one and toss the Eureka back. Alright, so we're probably playing against like a Death Shadow deck here. In which case, just being able to block with Veteran Explorer and Arena Rector is going to be quite good. Alright, so both of our hands would have been pretty soft to a Thoughtseize. I like that. So, a Death Shadow is likely to be live this turn. Oof. That's very good. Goodbye, library. I hardly knew thee. Ooh, opponent doesn't have another land. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. My opponent doesn't know about the second Arena Rector, which is pretty strong. Now they get to know about it. I think I do block this turn. It gives my opponent more mana, probably. But it also allows me to play an Arena Rector around a Daze. Which is probably important. Oh, nice. I do have green to think about. Do I have black to think about? Only one card. Don't have... Well, I guess I technically have one white card. I think I'll take the marginal tiny percent thinning here. Nice. This gets me a planeswalker. And I assume that my opponent can't really beat an Ugin. Guessing that's what I get. Yeah, probably just an Ugin. Fair. Nice. We're not going to play that until after this resolves, though. So Ugin is a 2-turn clock on my opponent, just by the way. Like, we're going to plus and lightning bolt my opponent twice, and they're going to die. And I don't think there's very much they get to do about it. We're very happy that my opponent is playing a deck that has to attack. That makes our life way easier in terms of getting rid of Veteran Explorers and Arena Rectors and such. Very happy to see that. I like just naturally drawing this card. Honestly, hmm. I'm gonna make a pile of cards that I can bring in. I think these 7 cards are the cards that I can bring in, and it'll be pretty good. I don't think I want Thoughtseizes for the life loss. Depending on how much of this stuff I naturally board in, depends. Like, that influences whether or not the Living Wishes remain good. Hmm. Collective Brutality is probably not that strong. It's fine. Am I supposed to board down the Living Wishes? Like, how much does that time matter? Versus how much is the redundancy nice? I can leave these 2 in the board. What other 2 cards would I board out? Hmm. Really unsure about that. Like, maybe I don't need Sylvan Library? Maybe I just have so many other threatening cards that I don't need the Sylvan Library. I also don't know, like, how many of the big dumb cards I can cut without changing things significantly. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the Living Wish. Let's keep the density high at the cost of speed. I like it. Oh, and my opponent has mulliganed twice. Alright. Turbo self-damage. Nice. I'll name Brainstorm with the first one. Days, Death Shadow, Ethereal Forger, Wasteland. So, I guess I want another green and a white. We'll get their whale here. Ethereal Forager. I can dismiss those. Yes. Opponent is simply doing that there so that they can floop a Death Shadow into play that's slightly bigger. But I have all the tools that I need to deal with the Death Shadow right now. I'll play into a daze. If my opponent naturally drew one, like, so be it. And then I'll just slow my roll. Good. Maybe attack there. I don't know if the attack's actually good. And I don't want to spend time thinking about it. We're doing fine here. Fair. All right. Oh, Moda, hello, Moda. Like I still have an Academy Rector on deck here, plus endgame inevitability. I don't think Death Shadow gets to beat a Sandworm Convergence basically ever. Opponent's Wasteland's not looking particularly strong here. Now, I don't have a way to get that out of play just yet. There's my way to get it out of play. There's my way to get it out of play. I'm Brazen Borrower here. Oh! Oh yeah. Attack with everything. I think I go ahead and attack with everything. Alright, now I have to pick which Nicol Bolas I want. How's my life total? Oh, my life total is 19. Alright, let's get Dragon God. Oops, wrong card. Cruel Reality will do fine then. Two, four, 6 of 8. That's a fine turn. Sorry, I mixed up my rectors there. Alright, good stuff. Nicol Bolas Tribal off to a hot start. Okay, this hand has the Veteran Explorer Cabal Therapy package, but I have nothing to do with my mana, and I have a lot of it, so we're gonna mulligan. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this under the rationale that my opponent is likely playing some sort of like 4-color loam or 4-color loam adjacent deck where I can accept keeping a slowish hand. Yeah. Feel like that read is fine to good. I don't know how much my Pernicious Deed is actually going to do. We'll find out. Oh. That's spicy. Alright, so my opponent's Satyr Wayfinder for Satyr Wayfinder. I like this. Yeah, I think I like that. More than just playing out the deed. Alright. So what I'm sensing is that Veteran Explorer is going to be a dangerous magic card. Uh, 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 we Eureka-ing? As the people in my chat often say, you didn't put Eureka in your deck to not cast it, right? I guess I put, like, I probably need to put another card out as bait to actually get that Primeval Titan into play, right? Put out, like, a Pernicious Deed. Hmm. Shit. This is probably where I just stop. Excuse me? I have to negative 7 the Ugin. Feel like my opponent kind of got the better deal out of it here. Like, I have a Sandworm Convergence that's still in play. But it's not going to stop zombies, and my opponent gets a Primeval Titan this turn. I think my opponent is going to accrue power faster than I do. We'll see. Overwhelming Splendor is pretty great here. Real Reality's quite bad. I'm just grabbing Phyrexian Tower here. Yes. All right. So Overwhelming Splendor cuts off my opponent's land-based abilities other than Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead now makes 1/1s. Which is maybe still a little scary. All JK. That was a nice top deck. I have to like read all these planeswalkers and figure out which one's good. Like this one. Go ahead and gain control of target creature on that Primeval Titan, because it'll be big when I have it. Yeah. Nice. Alright, Eureka confirmed good. Now what? I don't have too many ways to answer Primeval Titans. I can bring in Assassin's Trophy to help with that. I think Discard might be on duty to clear that sort of stuff. These are fine. I don't like Collective Brutality. That's going to go out. That'll get one of these in. Let's assume that I need all three of these. Answering Field of the Dead is also kind of a big deal. I'm going to keep the Knight of Souls Betrayal for the potential combo with Overwhelming Splendor. Maybe Cruel Reality is not good, but it is like a finisher enchantment I can get. I don't know. My opponent has a lot of disposable creatures. I'm going to try to trim that. I guess if they have those small disposable creatures and I want to avoid hits with them, like I bring this in too. Also, it like really helps with the zombies. Actually, my opponent probably doesn't have that many basic lands. Veteran Explorer is probably fine. Go down the Sylvan Libraries, assuming that I can't afford to pay very much life in this matchup. Oh, I don't like that in hand. I think I just mulligan this hand. Okay. We get to Living Wish for one of our Rectors, so this hand is probably better than it looks on the surface. I think I go Academy Rector here, but it's pretty close. Academy Rector here is appealing because I can get Overwhelming Splendor and then couple it with Knight of Souls Betrayal. So in case you're not familiar with what's happening here, my opponent sacks the Flagstones to this ability to fetch a land out, and then the Flagstone goes to the graveyard, so they get to go and get another planes, and Flagstones is sweet. This is the planes that they fetch. Alright. Do I want to Living Wish for a Veteran Explorer and play a Veteran Explorer? Or do I just want to get Arena Rector? I think I want to get a Veteran Explorer. Is that true? Maybe that's not too. Maybe I need this gas because my opponent does have Volrath's Stronghold. The nice thing about getting the Veteran Explorer is that it makes it easier for me to play around Wasteland, because with this Windswept Heath, I might want black, or I might want white. It's like, black is something that I'm technically going to need for Knight of Souls Betrayal. But I can probably get black off of Phyrexian Tower at some point this game comfortably. Oh no. Make green? That does make green. That's inconvenient for me. Play Deed this turn. My opponent's not very likely to have too many removal spells, right? I can probably just play out a Rector this turn. And then answer their stuff next turn. Answer their ooze next turn via Assassin's Trophy. Oh, I also have the Elvish Reclaimer Bojuka Bog to be thinking about. Yeah, maybe I need to Deed. That's actually pretty awkward. Yeah, that's fine. Expected to take this hit. All right. Indeed for 2, that leaves me with 3 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different names. This is on when it's 7 different names. Okay, so this isn't on yet. I guess I want to Deed in their upkeep. It gives them another Elvish Reclaimer activation, which is a touch awkward. And maybe I want to Deed in their draw step. Regardless, I don't think I want to Deed now. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to draw step. And I'll Deed for 2. I think I'm going to go ahead and Assassin's Trophy away the field of the one of the fields of the dead now. Ooh. A lot of power. Oh shit, they have the crop rotation. Or maybe they're just fetching. Okay, they're just fetching to play around Overwhelming Splendor, which indeed is what I'm getting. Alright, I take a lot of damage this turn. That's fine. I take 6. And then I should lock the game up with Knight of Souls Betrayal. I think. My opponent could have some sort of Assassin's Trophy style card. That would save them. I mean, it's good, right? It must be good. All right. I guess I'm gonna plus this first. This one pluses for non-creature permanent. Yeah. Nice. I have 2 different Nicol Bolas in play. I feel pretty confident that everything is gonna be all right. This deck is really fun for me. All right. Hanging out, chilling, having a good time. Don't think we're gonna cast the Thoughtseize. Sacrifices 7 permanents, huh? Strong. Strong. All right. We did stuff. I enjoyed it. All right, we're playing against Lynn Chalice, who is probably playing some sort of fair bluish pile. I remember they were playing something else recently, but I don't remember what it was. Good luck to you two. I think I'm gonna pitch this hand. I don't think it really does anything. Same? Same. Yes. Let's assume I don't get to Thoughtseize. And let's assume Sylvan Library finds me more lands. I really don't want to get Thoughtseized right now. It would be bad. Nice. I don't mind that at all. I'm not going to fetch basics here. I'm just going to assume that my opponent is not on Wasteland. Let me take 8. Nothing bad will happen, I swear. Something bad might happen. Bad reacts only. Like a counterspell that can't trip twice. Jace, huh? I don't think my first Eureka will resolve. I think my second one has a fair chance of resolving. This isn't even that good of a Eureka, honestly. Like, it's still a Eureka, but I'm going to put this into play. Or am I? No. Let's just flip Ugin in play. I got both of my opponent's planeswalkers here. Ugin's at 3. I don't expect to get, like, lightning bolted or anything. I could get, like, a Council's Judgment. I think that's the card I'm currently most concerned about. Target anything, right? Like, so I can ping my own creature with it? Yeah. Probably just, like, Cruel Reality my opponent. I think that's better than Overwhelming Splendor, but it's probably pretty close. Like, shutting off all their planeswalkers for the rest of the game is just strong. A Force of Will. That's pretty good. So is that draw. I'm quite happy with that. That's fine. I'll try again next turn. So my opponent is down 2 Narsets and a Jace already, and a Snapcaster. I don't know how many more win conditions they're actually going to have. Like, decklists are still enough in flux that it's not going to be clear to me what they really do and don't have access to. That's a shuffle. Nice. Shuffle is not Council's Judgment. See if I eat a Swords to Plowshares here. Targeting Terminus. Are they gonna now Brainstorm? Nice. I mean, I respect that line a lot. The cost is somewhat high. Now the Mystic Sanctuary isn't rebuying a Ponder to dig for an answer to the Ugin. And I'm good with that. I am in trouble now if my opponent can find an answer to the Ugin. But I don't really know how many things they really have to do that. I wonder if the first time I played the Academy Erector, I should have just played the Eureka instead, assuming that it prompts a... Ooh, that's quite good. Assuming that that still prompts a Force of Will. Alright, that has the potential to just beat me. That kills Ugin this turn. Alright. My opponent is now... was vastly favored. I think I cast Eureka. I can put the Pernicious Deed in. And then the Pernicious Deed can't get countered by a single counterspell. I think I like this a lot. Yeah. And so next turn... Oh, I guess there is no next turn, right? They have 16 power. Rough. Good game, though. Alright, I had an Ugin active for multiple turns, and my opponent managed to beat it, so well done on their end. I probably want some number of the things that can nuke planeswalkers. And my veteran explorers are a little worse than normal. Let's assume that I board those out. I don't want to give my opponent lands. What do I think of collective brutality as expensive duress? Eh. Decisively eh. Although Deed is good against Entreat, I don't know that it's going to be good against very many other things that my opponent has. I think I'm going to board those out. Get an Abrupt Decay in to help answer Narset. The Fairy. Play Thoughtseize. Means my hands will be real slow if I do something like this. Let's assume that's fine. There's also Mentor to think about, but the trophies and decays also help to deal with Mentor. So don't really think it's the end of the world if I board out the deeds. I have a hand with 2 discard spells, but nothing to do afterwards. I think I'm going to go ahead and mulligan that. Oh, this hand is very bad. Wow, am I really going to 5 2 games in a row? That's what I did last time, right? Yeah. Yuck. Just yuck. Nice. My opponent's hand does nothing, and is going to do nothing for a long time. My hand, unfortunately, does nothing and is probably going to do nothing for a long time. Alright, when I boarded these cards in, I did not want all of them. Although, admittedly, these being the veteran explorers here, that's not particularly strong either. I'm probably just going to blow an Abrupt Decay on a Snapcaster Mage here. Purely to protect my life total. I have 2 Assassin's Trophies left afterwards. So even though this isn't the most optimal thing in the world in terms of like my resource management, I'm happy enough doing it on my Mull to 5. Senior, yes. Ooh, Mishra's Bobble. Nice. I'm assuming that at least one of those is back in the deck now. Okay, so now I get to answer one of Mentor or Teferi. Probably Mentor. Mentor kills me dead faster. I have Savannah. I do have Savannah. Rough. All right, so Snapcaster Mage is gone. Unfortunately, my chances of winning this game are probably gone with that. Mentor probably creates enough power this turn to just smack me around and kill me. I mean, I mulliganed 5 twice versus a hard control deck. I think it's not particularly surprising that this happened. If I'm not dead this turn, and it looks like I'm pretty darn close to dead, I can still technically top deck an Ugin. This do enough? Yeah, I can like destroy a Jace or a Monastery Mentor out of spite and then just be dead. GG's, we took some bad beats to mulligans there, but that was a really fun one. Okay, I'm going to keep this hand. It has Cabal Therapy plus Academy Rector and Eureka plus a big dumb thing to put in. And having both sides of 2 different combos in an opening hand with 3 lands seems totally fine. See what my opponent is up to. Well. Do I Cabal Therapy for Cabal Therapy? Or do I just let them give me lands? Hmm. Any name like Assassin's Trophy? They might not have that game 1. Sylvan Library? I think I'm gonna name Assassin's Trophy. Like, that's a card that's gonna really mess with me. Oh, I should have named Cabal Therapy. The Nic Fit mirror is happening right now. This gets likes, right? This is how you farm likes. You throw a Nic Fit mirror up on YouTube. This is beautiful. What do you name with Cabal Therapy if you're the opponent? That's a weird one. Do you even cast it? Maybe you don't even cast it. Oh, here we go. Fuck, that's so good. We need to throw the opponent a smiley face in chat. Now, my opponent is probably going to know that they just want to save their Cabal Therapy for the Arena Rector, not for the Veteran Explorer, because giving me the extra mana is probably strong. And now we wait. If my opponent uses their Cabal Therapy to strip both my Academy Rector and my Nicol Bolas, that's a good turn. Whether or not we'll do that, we'll see. They're going with no. Although I might have cast the Cabal Therapy if I were them and taken my Academy Rector, so that on next turn they could play their Arena Rector and immediately sacrifice it. My Academy Rector is a huge threat next turn because I can play it and then get rid of get rid of most of their stuff using the big dumb white enchantment. Overwhelming Splendor, there we go. Really? No Cabal Therapy. I find this intriguing. Yet, it's Opposition Agent. Well, I was not playing around that. And I could have played around that. Alright, that explains the weird play pattern. Now my opponent gets to see my deck, too. That's rough. Also gives them the next land they need for Arena Rector. I mean, now that I know about Opposition Agent, I can easily play around it in future games. Like, that is not something that will be hard to do. But I... Like, with Nic Fit, you have your mind thinking about the things that are just going to be bigger. Not necessarily the things that are lower to the ground. And this deck, something that's 3 is something that qualifies as lower to the ground. Get a revealed card there? Did it not find something? I legit can't tell if they found something. So there's no... There's no card under this. No card entered their revealed zone. I think so. If something entered my revealed zone, it would be above these things. Or is it this exiled Bayou? Okay, maybe it's that exiled Bayou and I just didn't get a prompt for it. I see. I respect the hustle that's going on here. So I will not use this ability so that my opponent can't get 2 lands. That's rough. Now my opponent gets to Arena Rector me and double Cabal Therapy me to boot. They also, at least theoretically, know my entire hand. I'm not sure if Opposition Agent has been fixed. Since you're controlling the player, you're supposed to be able to look at their hand. So they should know all of my cards, or they at least will after my first Cabal Therapy. These Opposition Agents from my opponent are going to be brutal for me. Just by the way. I think my opponent is favored in this pseudo mirror. Okay, that's a Nicol Bolas planeswalker just with a different art. I think this just like starts blowing up all my lands and then leaves me with no outs. I never accrue enough lands to actually. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and concede here. I'm not technically dead, but I'm effectively dead, I think. Alright. I like attacking the hand via Thoughtseize. I think all the top end stuff needs to stay. I don't know that Pernicious Deed is actually any good. I need some number of answers to opposition agents and friends, so I want this stuff. Like Collective Brutality can come out. How scared am I of a Eureka? Solving and going badly. Somewhat scared. But I probably have more fat than my opponent. I gotta go down on Veteran Explorers. Weird, because they're so good with Cabal Therapy, and I want to shred my opponent's hand. But they're so bad if my opponent just has an opposition agent. Alright. We're gonna dirtle. We're gonna dirtle real good this game. Okay. I'm gonna keep this opening hand. I don't think I want to mulligan very much in this matchup, just kind of in the dark. I think I want to have a large number of cards because either this game goes on a long time and we can cast stuff, or one of us ramps the other. Alright, my opponent has mulliganed once. Twice. What a Cabal Therapy. I'm gonna Cabal Therapy on turn 1. I'm gonna Living Wish on turn 2. So my next chance to Cabal Therapy would be on turn 3. Oh. That's awkward. Alright, so we're on a Eureka hand. Okay. So this needs to be black-green. Veteran Explorer, Opposition Agent. I'm gonna name Veteran Explorer because my opponent mana ramping after a mulligan would be bad. Ah, shit, should I named Opposition Agent? Alright. So I get Savannah with Windswept Heath. So these dies things are going to be stopped by Leyline of the Void. That means my Living Wish is also considerably weaker than a moment ago. Means I'm going for Ancient Tomb. That gives me the turn 3 Ugin. Ugin, notably, can exile that Leyline, and then my Arena Rector can be live afterwards. I will have to cast the Arena Rector afterwards, but, like, you can't have it all. Okay. Well, let's go. It's go time. I kind of want them to put in more stuff so my Ugin does more. I'm going to throw away my Sylvan Library to accomplish that. Am I minus 4ing now? If I'm minus 4, my opponent just flashes in Opposition Agent and then kills Ugin. I'm not doing that, so I might as well play the Arena Rector. Yeah. There's some degree of risk here that my opponent will, like, do a thing with Academy Rector. But I think I need to keep my Ugin alive. And I think 1 turn of Sylvan Library draws, and then maybe a 3-for-1 with Ugin. Well, maybe a 3-for-3 with Ugin will be fine. Yeah, we'll just we'll pay some life for these. Okay. I have 2 mana for Living Wish. I can get one of my big dumb idiots. I don't know that I actually want to deploy it this turn. I want to play and sack it in the same turn. I think I want Academy Rector. I'm glad that I have the Eureka package so that like I still have an out to that ley line. I guess Opposition Agent is terrifying, isn't it? Hmm. Hmm. Alright, cool. I don't think I want to tap Ancient Tomb. I think I'll just plus Ugin on my own critter. I'm good with more land. Are you good with more land? You're not good with more land. That's fine. Assassin's Trophy is currently the big thing that I'm scared of. I guess there's no need to be in a hurry here. there's some degree of risk with some of the lines that I can take from now on. I have things like opposition agent to be thinking about. Yep. Am I using the plus again? I think I can just take 2 life at this point. I think I'm comfortable with that. Alright, I haven't put this one in play yet. Let's put this one in play. I don't need a crop rotation. Actually, I don't mind a crop rotation. I lied. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I get to do that without paying its cost. I see. We'll just thin a Bayou from the deck. So what I wanted to do there was rotate away the Ancient Tomb, but it's whatever at this point. Like I have 3 cards in play that cost 7 mana. Like I'm doing okay. Um, same sideboard plan. Maybe on the draw, I take in like a Pride Mage or a Pernicious Deed. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Uh, I think this one can go back. Seriously? That's bad beats. I'm gonna grab a scrub land while we can play around opposition agent. I need this card to come back around the table. I just need cards. Land drops in particular. I need to get through these. Thing is that just an opposition as a 3/2 flash creature here is really strong. Yep. Great. Alright, I need to answer that so that I can fetch. And then the question afterwards is like, do I Living Wish or do I just Thoughtseize? My life total's a real concern. I think I'm gonna Thoughtseize. I can't have my opponent play something devastating next turn. Fuck. Alright. I don't know that I can realistically win from here. I'm just feeling the effect of the mulligan so badly. And my opponent's triple opposition agent hand is not helping. So, in game two, one of the first things I said was like, I don't want to be mulliganing in this matchup because I think all of the cards matter so much. And then I got two non-landers in a row this game, and you can really just see how much of a difference that is making. Like, I just don't have that many resources to fight against what my opponent is doing, and that forced me into a really bad position with the Sylvan Library, where I just had to draw through some cards that I really didn't want to draw to try to hit those land drops, and then the opposition agent came in and made everything awkward. I have Living Wish for Quasali Pride Mage next turn. But if I have to trade Pride Mage for Opposition Agent and I don't get to trade it for the Leyline, then my Academy Rector and my other Living Wish aren't particularly strong. Don't know what my opponent is thinking about over there. Like, if you can kill your Arena Rector, put it into play, and go. Otherwise, just hold up Opposition Agent and pass. Ooh, my opponent just cast a Living Wish, grabbing Phyrexian Tower. So they're trying to set up for a big turn. I know they have Opposition Agent, which is awkward. Living Wish, Thoughtseize, Quizali, Pride Mage. Boy, this is awkward. Well, maybe it's not an easy assumption. I would definitely be thinking about trading Opposition Agent for Quizali Pride Mage so that, like, the ley line stays alive. We'll see what my opponent does. If they attack, it forces my hand. Like, I literally have no choice in the matter. It's block or die. But they're in control of that decision, ultimately. That's a deed. I die to it. Nope, 4 mana, not deed. They rip another Raptor off the top. That just kills me if they do. Yeah, this is Overwhelming Splendor, which turns my idiot into a 1/1. Oh no, Overwhelming Splendor is in hand. So it's Cruel Reality. Oh. Well, that's a weird one. Well, that also is going to kill me in a different way. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and throw in the towel here. GG's, opponent. Oh, nope, I don't get to draw cards and see what I could have had. Thanks, Moto. Alright, final round. Let's see if we can come out ahead. I have kept a somewhat clunky opening hand, but I have some things and stuff. Eureka is a very good draw. I have a Sylvan Library to go towards it. Otherwise, I've put a Veteran Explorer into play, and I have a Living Wish to find something else to do. Thoughtseize versus Living Wish versus Sylvan Library. My opponent's combo, I really want a Thoughtseize. So let's do that. What you got? This also, like, can take a counter spell and pave the way for... Oh, good God. Alright, so we are playing against a Show and Tell deck. We're gonna take the Omniscience here. So we're actually, like, really good against Show and Tell with this Overwhelming Splendor here, which is actually kind of funny. Rub. Savannah, actually. Work towards green for Eureka. I just want a Living Wish for, like, a land. Maybe I want a Living Wish for Phyrexian Tower. Yeah. I think this just gets spell pierced, but I've been wrong before. So I don't need to activate Phyrexian Tower this turn. I'll do that next turn. Because if I just, like, activate this, well, maybe it was fine to just jam the Sylvan Library. Alright, let's play Show and Tell. I picked this. Nice 1/1. Would you like to trade your Grizzlebrand for my Veteran Explorer? You would. Deal. One black card. There's no white card remaining. Oh, that's end of combat. This is going to be a must Force of Will card. I assume pitching the Spell Pierce. No, they have exiled Force of Will with Force of Will. Okay. Sure. Hey, do that Show and Tell thing again. I got more stuff to do. That was a bottom. Alright, we've picked up the concession. Yeah, their Show and Tells are going to be a little bit risky. Here, I think I'm going to start by the things I don't want in the deck. I don't really want Pernicious Deeds. Feel pretty confident about that. I want a Thoughtseize. I think a Surgical is fine. We'll see. I want the Assassins. Pride Mage probably stays as a tutor target, question mark, for Omniscience. Some number of Assassin's Trophies, probably fine. Knight of Souls Betrayal is pretty slow, but gives me lockout potential with Overwhelming Splendor. Although, if I put an Overwhelming Splendor in play, I should usually just win. Yeah, I don't know that I'm ever really going to need Knight of Souls Betrayal. Overwhelming Splendor on its own should be good enough. Now it's like Surgicals versus Pride Mage versus Assassin's Trophies. I think I just want to board Cavern of Souls in. Maybe as a 24th land. I have mixed feelings about Assassin's Trophy. Like, if a Gerzelbrand hits play and draws 7, like, the damage is probably done there. Do I just want to board in Ancient Tomb, too? Like, Ancient Tomb for faster Rectors is pretty good, and I probably don't want to Living Wish for that. Let's trim one of those. And then think about this a little bit more in between games. God, this one's so close. With the black mana, like, opening up on double Thoughtseize would be really strong. I don't think I get to keep this. I also have, like, there's a very significant advantage to keeping a hand with a big dumb enchantment, too, and this hand doesn't have that. I think those combination of things mean that this one goes back. Alright, my opponent tanked for a long time before ultimately keeping their hand. So that probably means it's suspect or is missing something, or is like a YOLO hand. This hand doesn't really do anything either, unfortunately. I'll ship this one too. 5-card hand. Five-card hand looks like this. That hand is not winning a game of Magic. This is my best hand so far, and it's not particularly close. My one of Overwhelming Splendor and two hands in a row is pretty good. I'm also very happy to see another land so that I can play Sylvan Library on turn 2. Feels kind of like my opponent just has like natural turn 3 show and tell. They didn't play a cantrip or anything on turn 1 or 2. But then why do they tank for like 2 minutes on their mulligan decision? That's the case. Is this just like Soul Land show and tell now? It is. Nice 1/1. Alright, mulligan to 4 was a success. Alright, Lucas, thank you very much for funding this league. I hope you all enjoyed this. Alright, thoughts on the deck list? It was fun. Some things feel a little weird, right? Like, the one of Collected Brutality is, like, kinda stands out to me as something that was just, like, a little bit strange. Would that be better being something else? Like, I understand its flexibility, but that was often one of the cards that I went to cut first. Other than that, I think I like the main deck. What about the sideboard? There's a lot of stuff there. And honestly, a lot of the stuff there is fine. Like, this is a solid, fun deck list if you are looking to mess around, do something relatively broken while also still being a little bit janky. I'm sure this can be optimized a little bit, but I would be comfortable changing 1 or 2 cards in this list and then playing it again. There are definitely some things that are kind of weird with the tension of, like, building the Living Wish sideboard. But as a whole, I did like Living Wish in this deck. The ability to go and grab the Rectors was good, and we definitely wished for Ancient Tomb for acceleration and Phyrexian Tower for utility multiple times, and occasionally we did even just go and, like, grab the Pride Mage. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking to get something sweet on the old YouTubes, my donation information as well as the deck lists are always in the video description. Have a great rest of the day, and if you made it this far, before you go, throw me a like or a comment or something and help with ye old algorithm. I would appreciate it. I'll be back again soon. Keep playing Legacy. It's great.